Hello, everyone, and welcome to this evening segment of At the Table with Yeshua. Today is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. I wanted to come on here and share with you what the Lord had revealed to me in prayer on Sunday, January 30th of 2022. It's basically to piggyback off of what Yahweh was saying pertaining to the war that's supposed to take place between U.S., China, and Russia. And I heard Yahweh say loud and clear, he said China will attack. So Russia, if you have listened to any of the previous videos, the previous warnings, Russia is going to attack first, then China. Yahweh said prepare. And he said the attack is supposed to take place in the eastern United States. Again, this is to piggyback off of, for those of you that may not be familiar with the warnings that took place about the war going down between U.S., China, and Russia. We will be going to war with China and Russia. Previously, Yahweh had said that Russia was going to attack. And so he revealed to me in prayer on Sunday that China is going to attack as well. They're going to attack right after Russia. How soon after? I'm not 100% certain. But I do know that if they are joining forces against the United States, it wouldn't be hard to believe that one is going to follow suit in their attack against us. That's just not going to be hard to believe. They both hate us. I mean, let's just be honest. We can't trust either nation. So again, Yahweh said China will attack. He said it plain as day as I was in prayer on Sunday. And he wanted me to tell everyone, to warn everyone, let everyone know. He said Russia is going to attack first, then China. He said prepare. And then he said Eastern United States. So everyone that's along on the East Coast side of the United States of America, this is where China is said to attack. I don't know what states, I don't know what cities, I don't know exactly what areas, other than what Yahweh has already told us. So please just, be diligent, be in prayer, ask Yahweh, if you aren't 100% certain about what he's saying about these warnings, you ask Yahweh for yourself, you go to him for yourself. I always encourage people, if you're not 100% certain as to what the word that the Lord has revealed to me, you go to him for yourself. You ask him for yourself. So Yahweh just wants us to know and to be in the know, as he always loves to warn his people about the dangers that are coming and about the end times that are coming. He always wants us to be in the know. You can't ever say that Yahweh doesn't keep his people in the loop, because he does. So again, Yahweh said China will attack, and the attack is supposed to take place in the eastern United States after Russia attacks. So I don't know what time frame we're working with. I don't know whether or not it's going to be this year, next year, a few years from now. I don't know. Whenever all of this unfolds, Yahweh just wants his people to be in the know. He wants us to be ever prayerful. This is something that is said to happen. This is something that Yahweh said must happen. The war between U.S., China, and Russia. It is going to be a devastating war. Many lives will be lost. This is not something to play with. This is not anything to take lightly. This is not anything that I would play with. At any point in time, Yahweh gives a warning. He wants his people to be well prepared. One of the key ways of preparing is by praying and fasting. I haven't heard any specific instructions as to fast for this particular situation that's set to take place. Maybe later on down the road, Yahweh will reveal that, whether or not we're supposed to fast in this particular instance. I will ask him more so in prayer about what he wants us to do to help prepare. But previously, he did actually give us literal instructions. We are to stock up the food supply, stock up the medical supply. We are to make sure that our households are well prepared for what's coming. Because as you know, if you've ever lived during a war, I personally have not one that hit home. Of course, we all dealt with the effects of 9/11 and everything else, but an actual all-out war, I have not lived during that time. So I don't even know what it looks like. I have some idea as to how scarce the food supply is going to be, how scarce the medical supplies are going to be. I have some idea as to how chaotic those times are going to be, but I don't know from actual experience what those times are going to look like. So Yahweh is calling us to prepare, not just in a spiritual sense, but in a physical sense. Anytime Yahweh gives instructions, he is expecting his people to follow them to the T, so that way they can be fully equipped, fully prepared for what's coming. Now, that's not to say that mentally this war won't catch us off guard. You know what I mean? As far as you can do all the physical preparation, you can pray, you can fast, but at the end of the day, once it happens, it is so, I can only imagine how surreal it's going to be. I can only imagine what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like. I can only imagine how crazy people are going to be acting, frantic, going here, going there, trying to find shelter when these attacks are going on. I can only imagine. It's going to seem like a nightmare. So these are the times, while there is food to stock up, while there are supplies to stock up, these are the times when you want to do the stocking up. These are the times when you want to prepare these things. Yahweh said before, if you have a bunker or if you have access to any underground shelter, preferably a bomb shelter, or even those of you that have yards where you have a storm cellar, something underground, because the households, the buildings that are above ground are going to be targets once this war comes down. Once this war actually starts to happen, those households, the buildings, the colossal monuments that we as a nation have built are going to be targets. They're going to be airstrikes. I just heard that in my spirit. They're going to be airstrikes. Yahweh just brought that back to my remembrance. There are going to be airstrikes. Yahweh has already revealed in past videos that there are going to be airstrikes. Now, for those of you that think that this thing isn't going to happen, you think that this is a far-fetched idea, you think it's crazy, oh, it's not going to happen, it's not going to be that deep, da-da-da-da. At the end of the day, Yahweh is preparing his people. So when this thing happens, you cannot say you were not warned. Don't go and get mad at Yahweh. Don't go and get mad and say, well, no one told us this, that. Yahweh is here to prepare his people first. He wants his people to be kept in the loop about what is happening so they know how to prepare. He is a good father. He is a good God, and he is not going to leave his people out wondering how they can best handle themselves or what they can do in this scenario without instructions. So that's simply what he is trying to do. He is trying to prepare us so that we can do the necessary things that it takes to get ready for what is coming. So if you have not stocked up your food supply, I encourage you to do that. If you have not stocked up your water supply, I encourage you to do that. If you have not stocked up your medical supplies, I encourage you to do that. If you are one that you have to have certain medications, I'm not exactly sure. I know there are those that are on fixed incomes. If you are living for Yahweh, and you are doing everything that he tells you to do, he will make a way for you to have your medications during those times. But I'm just telling you, as of right now, all of the things that we can stock up, all of the non-perishable food items, everything that we can possibly use to stock up food and medical supplies, please, please, please make yourselves aware to prepare for what's coming. Make sure that you have a list. Make sure that if you use up anything in that supply, that you replenish it. Okay? These are things that you want to make sure that you keep stocked. You want to make sure that you keep water stocked. You want to make sure, because we have no idea what's going to be going on with our water supply. We don't know if that's going to be a target. Okay? So you want to make sure that you always have clean water to drink. As far as food goes, as you all know, even just with the shortages of having workers drive these trucks to get to the supplies, there were shortages in the stores. If you have been familiar, if you're going to the stores now, you're seeing shortages across the nation for those that have stocked up. And every time you turn there, you're going to the stores. I know anytime I get off from work in the evenings and I try to go to the stores, the meats are practically cleared out. Other supplies, the bread was wiped out the other week. I mean, it is just that important, that critical that we stock up our food supplies. We have to, because we don't know when this war is coming. I have not received a date from Yahweh as of yet. Maybe someone else out there has. Maybe Yahweh has revealed that date to them. I don't know. All I can give you is what Yahweh gave me in prayer. So I want to encourage you to stay prayed up. Be diligent in stocking up your supplies. Be diligent in following the instructions that Yahweh is giving during these times, because he wants to make sure that his people are prepared for what is to come. Make sure that even with the medical supplies, make sure that you have enough, be it gauze, be it peroxide, alcohol, Band-Aids, whatever medical supplies that you could possibly need, first aid kits, anything of that sort. If you have a storm cellar, you have room enough in there to stock up anything. It just depends on what kind of room you're working within there. Make sure it's enough room for you and your family members, the immediate family in your household. And maybe if you have family in a neighboring town or city or state, that you can allow to share your cellar during that time. These are going to be crucial times. You're not going to be able to run to the store and get supplies at this point in time. Chances are chaos is going to erupt all across this nation. Chances are you're going to have looters hitting these stores. Chances are supplies, gas, everything of that sort is going to be short. For those that are able to leave the country just by hopping on a jet, they'll be able to do that. Maybe be able to go to another country, another nation that this war will not impact at that point in time. But for those of us that will be staying in the States, whenever this war comes down, you want to make sure that you are fully prepared. If you do not have a bunker, then you want to make sure that you connect with someone that has a storm cellar, something underground that would not be a target, so to speak, something that these airstrikes won't hit. You want to make sure that you stock up. I don't know what the cooking capabilities are underground. I know in some cases, electricity is not even an option in some of those underground cellars. It really just depends on how well it's built, and what modern capabilities it has. Some may have electricity. I know some, from what I've seen, have those lights in there. Some may have electricity. But it may just be wired to a certain point up in there. I don't know. I don't know whether or not you'll be able to, depends on what you have in there, whether or not you have a generator of some sort. Maybe now's the time to think about getting a generator, keep it outside. And then when these things happen, maybe you'll be able to use that generator for some power or some, I just don't know, like I said, exactly what you're going to be able to do in a bunker or in a storm cellar to really help prepare the foods, to really help make sure that, you can cook something. I don't know what that's going to look like. Again, I've never lived during an actual war that hit home. So I don't know what extra measures that you have